watches over the Puget Sound. Berenice's hair.
Night Dreams Talk Radio, After Dark, wants to give a big shout out to all the truckers that listen to our show.
If you would like to hear Night Dreams Talk Radio on your local radio station, let them know. Tell them to check out www.nightdreamstalkradio.com, and thank you.
You're listening to Night Dreams Talk Radio, After Dark, with our host, Gary Anderson.
And here I am. I hope, again, everybody's going to have a great weekend. I know I got a lot of work to do in the studio. I got more equipment. Do you know that big mixer I told you about?
Yeah, you're going to like playing with that. I'm sure you'll be calling me and saying, hey, we need to do some tune-up.
It's going to take me a long time to figure it out because I tell you what, it's completely different from hooking it up over a normal mixer. But that came in today, and, you know, it came in like about a 75-pound box. So I was like, wow. And then I took this sucker out. It's huge. Now I got to figure out where to mount it.
Yeah, you're running out of room. You might have to evict one of those scary figures you got in there if them dogs haven't ate them yet.
No, but they were one of the dogs that was in the studio today. I was babysitting these two teeny weeny dogs, weigh about 125 pounds each. And when they stand up, they're taller than me, and I'm 5'11". But I can tell you this, they discovered, you know, my square installation for the studio, the foam. Mm-hmm. They love eating it.
Oh boy. That's going to mess up their day. That reminds me of my somebody I know's dog that eats everything. You can't even put the remote control down. If you turn your eye, it's gone. Next thing you know, you got to go out in the yard and get your remote back, and not the good way. Yeah.
Well, I don't know if I'd pick it up after that. But these dogs wouldn't even bother. They eat everything. I mean, one of them loves eating metal. The other one likes eating paper. Toilet paper, anything, newspaper. Well, if you can find like newspaper ads, the flyers for the grocery stores, the dog gets it first. I mean, strange habits. But you know what? My son, they're his dogs, right? He has them trained, on pee pads. And pee pads are white, right? Mm-hmm. Well, the other day on my bed, my wife puts a white. We never sleep in a white sheet. We always have like tan ones, blue ones, brown ones. She put a white one on. And before I could stop the dog jumped up in the bed. Oh, this is a giant pee pad.
Yeah. Here's a question. Did you catch it before or after you laid down on it?
No, I caught it right away. Thank God we have a liner underneath it, so it doesn't get onto the mattress. I mean, yeah, I would have freaked out because we just bought this mattress for like $1,400 and some here just like 3 months ago. So that would have really freaked me out.
That would have freaked you out. You would have had a shell shock to your body too when you laid down on it.
So would the dog.
He would have got probably a little tune-up, I would imagine.
I don't know. But anyway, it was like, I wasn't paying attention. I was, responding to these emails. And I was looking at my door because my door has these square panel, sound installation on it. And I looked and I go, oh my God, they're half gone. And I go, where are they? Well, they're on the little teeny pieces now. Gives me work to do because I do have some spares to put back up. So I'm good as gold.
Right. Yeah, that is something else. You're going to have to hire somebody to just go through your mail. My goodness, you must spend a good 4 to 5 hours a day going through that sometimes.
More than that, about 8, 9. And no, I can't do that because I made a promise to myself when I started this whole nightmare of fun that I would respond to every email myself. Art did the same thing. Art Bell used to respond personally to everybody that would send him an email. I feel that if they want to take the time to listen to the show, if they want to take the time to write me an email, I'm going to answer it.
And that's good. I do the same thing. But I get maybe 10 minutes worth. You get like 8 hours worth. I'm glad you get most of it.
Yeah, they're all from weird places like Hong Kong, Taipei, Australia, UK, Ireland, France. And some of it, I have to use the translator on it because they send it over and I can't read French. I have a hard enough time reading English.
You said it, I didn't. But you're an international star now, Gary. You're just going to have to get used to it.
No, I'm nobody but myself. But the show has picked up. I think we're carrying out right now about 20 people a night listening.
20? Yeah, that's up a good 25% from the motorcycle days.
Oh,
so that's
yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
You're on a rise.
Yeah, I got a message from all the radio stations. They said they got like 1.5 people listening per show.
That's not bad. What's your goal, up to 2?
I was hoping, that maybe they can get up to like 3 or 4 people listening, during doing my show on the radio station. I'd be really extremely happy.
Yeah. I got a feeling you're probably going to meet your quota, with Terry coming on and Whitney and a couple of others that you didn't mention that I kind of got a wind of. So I think you're going to break your record of 3.
Yeah, I think it's in the like high hundreds of thousands, and that's just on, from what I hear. Now, I think in a few weeks the book will come out, and then I'll see what the radio stations are doing. But I mean, what I'm hearing that they're claiming what they're streaming out live too. They said they're getting a high head count, and they said, people are calling in the radio stations saying, hey, they really like my show. That was one radio station in Salt Lake. It was only carrying the show, like 2 hours of the show. They didn't carry the 3 hours. They put some other show in, and I guess that they are going to carry the full 3 hours. And when we go 4 hours, they're going to carry the 4 hours because people were saying, "Why aren't you carrying the whole show?"
Right, and now does those stats come out every 3 or 4 months or something like that? I guess quarterly,
I think like quarterly.
Reason I ask because the next ones that come out, they're probably going to be even way larger because your show's really taking off. I mean, you're having more hours. We have more segments. We're having a big name guest, and it just keeps going up and up with the listeners. So I suspect that you're in the positive, going the right way, and it's looking good.
Well, I'm not going to say the app, but remember the other day I read that that mortician with the penis issue.
No, yeah, I don't remember that.
Oh yeah, sure. Okay, the guy who collected thousands of penises in a jar and he got busted and arrested, and it's probably going to go to prison for what he did. But I guess I said the word penis so much that they refused to put it up on the app. So that next morning, I looked on that major app, and it wasn't on there. So I called up their media department, and I said, hey, why didn't it go up? They called me back about a half an hour later. They said, well, I don't know why it didn't go up, but I think it had to do, you used the word penis probably who knows how many times, right? But I said, it was funny. And the guy goes, yeah, I listened to it. And he goes, actually, because your show has a pretty good high rating on our app, that means the listeners. They said it'll be up within a half an hour. And boy, they had it up.
That's good. And now, see, right there is something you can't teach or buy, and that is experience. Your 40-plus years of experience told you right away what the problem was, because you told me earlier in the day what it might have been, and you was right. And then you knew what to do, who to talk to, and it got fixed. That's the stuff you can't teach. It comes out in quality of the show of your experience and what you're doing and your know-how.
Well, a lot of people don't realize a lot of these apps, that's how they make their money. Some apps you got to pay to listen to some shows or listen to, the shows on it. Or some apps, they make their money from advertising on it. You're listening to the show and you get commercials thrown in at the beginning, middle, and at the end on the app, and that's how they make their money. And if they have a show on there that has high enough listeners, they make a lot of money. And face it, sometimes the advertisers want to be on certain shows. And, and I kind of I was snotty to him. I said, well, I'm on all these other apps. I'm on radio stations. If you want to be a dickhead, that's what I said to the guy at the start. I don't care. If you don't want to carry my show on your major app, there's other apps out there. And, boy, they rectified it fast.
Yeah, I'm surprised you didn't say penis head.
No, I was actually quite mad. I mean, that had happened,
Yeah. The penis graduated into something else. But
yeah.
I get what you're saying. But at least it got fixed and everything's worked out and everything's looking good.
Yeah. Hey, Sam, what's you up to, brother? Oh.
Today.
I guess he was talking. I want to apologize. I had the mute on. Sam.
Oh.
So whatever you were saying, it didn't go anywhere because I'm sorry. I apologize. It's my fault.
Oh, no problem.
Did you say anything?
But can you hear me now?
Yeah. Can you hear me?
Yes, I do.
Can you still hear me?
Yes, I do.
Oh, that's your problem. Anyway, so
maybe I should go away.
No,
no, I'm just joking.
We had a. I just wanted to say.
Apps. I'm sorry.
I just want to say
the apps you were talking about.
I know, but I just want to say that last night we had a lot of listeners with Colleen on talking about Lizzie Bordenhouse.
Really?
Oh, good.
Yeah,
Nice.
Yeah, huge numbers. Now, about apps, what you were going to say there, Sam?
No, I'm sorry. I was going to jump in there. I was just waiting for the cue. But it was about the app that dropped your show because of the mention of one too many words.
No, they didn't drop the show. They dropped putting that one show
that
up.
episode.
That episode up, yeah.
And I don't think it's a team of people just sitting there that's monitoring these shows. It's just part of these AI programs that interpret all the words that are said on a program, and I think they go through an algorithm that actually, they probably even define, okay, you could say this word, but if you say it too many times based on this criteria, then we're going to drop it. So I have a feeling that there was no human intervention in spitting it out or causing it not to be there. So I think sometimes that's true with anything, like YouTube or anything else. We think there's somebody that's got a vendetta in the back room, and they said, "What? I'm going to drop this program." But
no, you're right, because that's what I was told. It was.
Yep. See, that's what I thought.
Yeah, they. I guess maybe they thought, their computer program, it checks things before it goes up. Heard that? Oh, maybe this is pornographic. We can't put it up. But they did review part of it. They sat and listened to a few minutes of it, and they said it was hilarious. They loved it. And they literally apologized, and they got it up within a half an hour. I mean, I was really surprised Apple could do that.
Well, sometimes when you're doing high numbers, it has a profound effect on people. Especially, it has the same effect like when you have cash in hand. You'd be amazed by what you can accomplish by having a little bit of power of something. Whether it's listenership or something else. It's just the way it is.
Well, that's the way society is. But you know what?
Oh.
I had more comments about that show. The show I mentioned penis 8 million times on. People literally were telling me they loved it. They were laughing over it. Like I mentioned, there was a trucker. It messaged me when we were doing the show. Text me through, Facebook Messenger and said that, I'm on my truck right now and I almost ran off the road. I was laughing so hard. I mean, how often does something like that comes up, a perfect setup to create a joke after a continuous joke?
Not too often, but
too,
That was funny.
But it bothered me enough. I had another last night. I could have done one about these